Now, I'm a pretty big reader, but I also don't have a lot of money. So, in recent years, I have, instead of reading Mistborn, instead of reading the next Brandon Sanderson novel, I've resorted to reading web novels. Generally speaking, quality is like terrible, but that's what these websites are for. They aggregate all these web novels and all this web fiction. You can just sort by top or rising stars, and you can find the good stuff, the cream of the crop. Unfortunately, as with most markets, advertising takes what should be a joyful thing and turns it into like a miserable slog. So that's what this is. I'm gonna show you my little categories of advertising misery. Here we go. All right, the elephant in the room that pretty much all of the art and all of these ads is AI. There's about three distinct styles. One is the Ghibli, one is the Coomer stuff. One is hard for me to describe, but you're going to see a lot of A art. I'm not interested in discussing the ethics of it. I'll just say that I don't appreciate how homogenized it all is. I prefer some unique styles at least. If you're not going to commission your own art, you could at least use an AI generator that makes something a little different from the norm. I mean, I'm tired of seeing the same stuff on the site every time. So, for the waifus, the funniest one I've got to say is click for Dragon Mommy. it's just a redhead with big tits wearing bikini armor made out of scales. I'm not worried about the implications of a dragon mommy wearing scales, but it's just so shameless that it's perfect. It's not just the dragon mommy though. You've got cat girls. There's plenty of cat girls out here. Will you be my demon lord? I don't know, cat girl. But I did see that anime like 8 years ago with the isekai guy who isekai'd as a demon lord with a black haired cat girl and a blonde elf. So it's a little derivative. I can think of a single inspiration, therefore you're a ripoff. We've got this one. There's a lot of cultivation novels on Royal Road. So of course there's women with their fantasy Chinese outfits. There's a lot of hair ornamentation. They've got ponytails, dark hair, and a lot of kipows. This one's a bodysuit, but there's a lot of Chinese-ish waifus, you could say. It's not racist. It's fine. This one right here is my personal favorite waifu thumbnail because it reminds me of that meme where there's a chick pressing a man's head against her thigh. I'll show it on screen. But that's all I can think of when I see this one. There is that one chick off to the side glaring. She doesn't matter. It just reminds me of the meme. There's a lot of bodysuits and a lot of form-fitting armor, a lot of boob armor, so you can definitely see the shape of the tits in all of these ads. Normally, I don't complain. I like this sort of thing, but in ads, it's like, come on, man. It's not just human women, though. You've got scaly waifu art, scaly AI generated waifu art, Dragon Waifu RPG, yeah, okay. And of course, the furry numbers go up, Husky Waifu RPG, seemingly made by the same guy. So, he's going for a niche market. I appreciate it. Next up, we've got number two, we've got outdated memes. There's, you'll see what I mean. Royal Road really likes its mid 2000s, early 2010s memes. They're hiding behind a veil of irony where everything is like not funny and it's kind of shitty. It's a bunch of stick figures, but I'll just show you a few. Phew. Hey, I wanted that kill, so it's mine. Well, what? No. My entire tribe declares war on yours. Huh? War, war, war. And it's a rage face. Very 2008. Way to go. You're going to be seeing a lot of four-panel stick figure comics and a lot of four-panel Ghibli art comics, so get ready for that. Sticking together and building a community in a lit RPG apocalypse? Nope. Going solo to become the strongest? Yep. A Ghibli Drake meme. Very original. Burn. Finally dead. Huh? Spare my life? Just more fucking stick figures. Okay. I mean it, man. Half of these are like just crude stick figures. And that's what's so irritating about it. It's like you're just hiding. Could I get some sincerity in here? Just a little bit. Another Ghibli AI art, 4-panel. Create your own cabal, crime syndicate. Avoid your scheduled execution date. Progression, level up skills, defeat ancient hero horrors 100 levels above your. Wait, what? Good stuff, good stuff. This time, I'm staying out of it. He has potential. Huh? I just blinked. That's all I did. Ghibli art 4 panel, great stuff, very funny. I have not laughed at a single one of these advertisements in my few years of using this site. I haven't smiled at all. The most I've got out of this site is like smiling at a so bad it's good kind of thing, but none of those were supposed to be funny. It was always just like the waifus with huge tits saying dramatic things. That's what made me laugh. None of this. Like, let's look at this one. Another stick figure 4 panel. OMG, my GF. Oh, wait, I'm a vampire. I may have messed that up. Good stuff, good stuff. Here's a guy holding 2 guns. Ho ho. Look at this foolish MC. I have a hostage. Now hand over your bang bang. Kills the hostage and the dude. Very funny. This MC doesn't care about nothing. He's amoral. He don't care. Oh man, look at this, guys. Another stick figure. 4 panel. Hey, check out how hard I can magic. Microwave noises. And you just microwave some shit. Very funny. The cat girl. I'm presuming it's a cat girl. It could be a cat boy, but let's be honest with ourselves. Just looking at him. And this crude meme format. Oh, this one's like 10 years ahead. It has as Chad Jacks. Whatever you call these. The Chad meme. We should destroy these eggs. Yes. They could cause a portal break, and we can't merge brackets, familiar bond, end brackets yet. I guess this is a lit RPG. What a surprise. Ellipses. Troll face. 2008. I'm not even going to read this one. Another thing you'll notice about this site is beyond just like numbers go up, everyone thinks they're just so subversive for making a magic setting with guns. I get it. Magic fantasy is usually associated with like sword and board level, medieval, tech level stuff. But guess what, man? Everyone has magic guns now. I'm tired. I'm not tired of it. I'm tired of everyone thinking magic guns are subversive and special. Don't put it in your ad. Oh, this is a recent meme. This one's from the 2020s. You guys are students, literal children. You're 12. You shouldn't be fighting for your life. Big thumbs up. What? Because they ignore them. Good stuff. More stickmen. And what do you know? It's another Ghibli meme. Another Ghibli meme format. So that's the peak of Royal Road comedy. The site also loves its mafia memes. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's just how mafia works. Level 0 mobster, level 900 mob boss. There's tons of those. Chapter 1, prisoner. Chapter question mark, immortal cultivator. Look at how spooky that fella is. 1% skill efficiency? 100% skill efficiency? Oh yeah. Level 1 novice. Gangster. Level 50 divine warrior. Level 100 paradox incarnate. Ooh. I don't know. They all look the same to me. Like level 1 looks just as tough as level 100. I don't know what you're going for there. Give him like a fucking Sharingan or something. This is my personal favorite of the Mafia memes. Level 0, no class. Guess what? Now he's level 9,999. David Goggins with his Chadger Badger companion. Level 1 E-class. Well, guess what? 2 years later, he's level 9,999 SSS class. Pyromancer. Level 0 Rot Mage. Well, level 100 Rot Mage. He just looks like a stinky Spartan. I guess if you're gonna make a rot sorcerer, a rot mage, he's gonna be really stinky. But he does like, where's the rot here? He just looks like a Spartan who doesn't shower. He looks really stinky. Okay, it's not very appealing to me, but whatever. This one's borderline between Mafia meme and a waifu advertisement. Level 1 healer and level 100 death healer. Ooh. You can see her thighs and her hips. If I'm going to be talking trash, I might as well point out the good ones. I like just a bit of text, a bit of information, and a pretty picture. That's all I need from this. None of the funny ones are funny. The waifu ones are not titillating because, you know, if I want hentai, it's right there. I'm on the internet. So, death is only the beginning. Penitent. I like this one. It's very simple. Presumably, a guy dies and gets reincarnated as a dude with a glowing sword. I like it. It's a good picture. Luna, it's the same thing. It's a chick in like a spacesuit looking jacket with a glowing sword. But it also has a lit RPG and short story. That's all the information I need. These two are presumably the same. Space Truckers, Slow Burn Space Colony Builder. And it's got this neat little sci-fi art. Just like good art, basic information. That's all you need in an advertisement. Here's another sci-fi one. Spaceship Crafting System. Then you got bullet points. System, spaceship, crafting, and a cool picture of like a softer sci-fi spaceship. That's all you need. If that's what I'm looking for, I'm gonna click it. I don't need a stick figure going like, ooh, the spaceship is sus. And out of all the ads on the site, this one is my personal favorite. Serafina, the once and future queen. You got the title right there at the bottom. You've got this clearly Akira, or maybe even No More Heroes 3 inspired art. I'll just put the No More Heroes 3 art on the side so you know what I'm talking about. And the top right, you've got basic information. Otome Villainess Lit RPG. That's all you need to know. Pretty art. The title's right there. Basic info. This is how you do it. This is how you make an ad. More of this. Less dragon mommy. Less stick figures, please. Now, a few honorable mentions. These don't really fit anywhere else, but they're just too interesting to leave out. This one is this is the only ad that features interracial cuckoldry. When you think you know someone, my wife's the best, then he's dead. Come here. And it's just a black cuck losing his black wife to a white guy, apparently. I'm not reviewing any of these stories, but that's the impression I get out of this. So if your story is about interracial cuckoldry, well done, you did it. Nice Ghibli art. Then there's this one, which very well might be more AI art, but I appreciate that it's not one of the three styles. It's not Coomer stuff, it's not Ghibli, and it's not that weird one I struggle to describe. This one is clearly Guilty Gear Strive character art inspired. I'll just put some Guilty Gear Strive character art next to it. And it's a style I like. So I don't know if this is AI or commissioned. I really can't tell. Probably AI. That's a safe assumption usually. But yeah, just a simple description and some decent art. So big ups to that. And this one is special because on the entire website, this is probably the only advertisement featuring an actual human being. And it's just so earnest. Royal Road is clearly irony poisoned, where almost all of the ads are like hiding behind a veil of irony because they're too afraid to say, this is my story. This is what the story does. This is what the story is. It's always got to be a deniable joke. Like, oh, you didn't laugh? Well, it's a 2008 Me Gusta meme. So you weren't supposed to laugh, actually. This is just a dude showing off his books. Dad published 9 books in 2024. Click here to read them all on Amazon. This is just like a guy who probably had a day job when he first started writing these. And he's just showing off some work he's proud of. It's very earnest. I appreciate it. Halfway through collecting all of these advertisements, I found this on the Royal Road forums. It's a website that actually documents and archives a bunch of ads. It's mlmn2.github.io. So big ups to you, Emma. If you want to see more of these advertisements, you can just go there and scroll through. There's like tons of them that I didn't even discuss. There's probably some that are funnier than the ones I brought up. So give it a look, maybe. Now, beyond the user-generated ads, there's a lot of cross-promotion on the website. Probably the most irritating example, in my opinion, is the joke titles, where people will modify the title of their story to reference another story. Here's just one example. It's over, Truth Seeker. I have the high ground. You underestimate my power, 12 miles below. These are pretty uncommon, but when I see them, it just sort of, maybe I'm being a little bitch about this, but I like to get immersed. And when I see the title of a story I like just changed into a joke, it kind of irritates me. There's also what I like to call cross promotion chains, where sometimes when you click on a story, right at the top or right at the bottom, it's going to be like a big 3-paragraph description of a story along with an image, sometimes an animated image. And what you can do is you can click on this image and you're guaranteed to see that that story also has the same thing at the top or bottom of a chapter. There's an animated image with a bunch of paragraphs, and you can click on that, and you can just go and go and go indefinitely. Because I think these sort of loop back on each other. What authors are doing, they're doing a quid pro quo thing, like a promo for promo. I'll promote your book if you promote my book. I don't know how these organizations work. I don't know if it's just one big one or several small ones where it's like advertising cabals, where all these guys are in it together, lifting each other up. Because of the way Royal Road's Rising Star system works, ratings actually matter a ton, which worries me. Because every now and again you'll see an author where everything's going well, and then they'll just say, oh, I got my first 0.5 star review, and I dropped from like top 30 to number 320. And it's amazing how much a bad rating can damage your story. So it's really not a coincidence that people who make it into rising stars are playing the marketing game. Like they're doing these collaborative marketing efforts where they change the titles for their stories to promo another story, or they participate in an advertising chain. I really don't like that getting into rising stars dependent on ratings. I'd prefer it if it was dependent on views, because with ratings, that is very exploitable. Like, you don't need to bot spam someone to get their story out of rising stars. I'm not accusing anyone of a conspiracy, but hypothetically, if you wanted to destroy the competition, it would be trivial. It doesn't take a lot to drag a story down. So you can just say, oh, it's your turn to give our competition a bad rating, so they drop below our story outside of visibility. I'm sure the people behind Royal Road are aware of this. It's a pretty obvious issue, but maybe it's not an issue at all. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm just screaming at clouds here. Maybe there is a system in place that I'm unaware of to stop this from happening. But yeah, I'd encourage you guys to just find one of these advertising chains and just see how far it goes. Like, it seems like it goes dozens of stories deep. How does this work? Do like authors on the way up just get an email from a different author saying, join our little club? I noticed that most of the like truly big stories where their quality shines through and they don't really need to play these games, they don't participate in any advertising shenanigans. Like, Super Supportive doesn't, as far as I'm aware. It sort of stands head and shoulders above everything else. Along with Mother of Learning, which was around long before Royal Road, so it makes sense that they're not playing games here. But yeah, that's what I like and dislike about the site. Quality does shine through to a certain extent. Like the top 0.001%, they're clearly like very good writers relative to everyone else on the site. But at the same time, good writers can be pushed down by less good writers because of how the system is set up. So I don't know. It's not my website. I just read this for idle entertainment, so I'm not going to get stressed over it. But I did want to share my thoughts because I stopped using AdBlock for a bit, and this was immediately noticeable. You've got to try it or else you're going to be miserable. Oh, you weren't miserable? Well, that's just because you don't know how good this story is. Look at this Stickman comic. Doesn't this prove my prowess as a writer? Don't you adore this Stickman comic? How about this AI-generated waifu? Dragon Mommy. Look at this outdated meme. Look at this rage face from 2007. Me gusta. Alright, that's the video. Consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.